now I should be able to send that out, right? Because I screwed up by closing the other one. We're all learning together. This is awesome. I love it.
And
I've always just been on the receiving end of a Hangout. I've only started regular Hangouts. I've never done a Hangout on air. So this is fun.
And Google keeps like changing things on Hangouts on air.
Yeah.
And they're all for the better, but sometimes they wind up having these undocumented benefits that you kind of have to wrestle with every once in a while.
Okay, so hopefully people will be joining in at some point.
Cool.
We'll see. Okay, so I'm gonna do the Q&A. Hopefully. So, how is everything? So, how do you do that Volmer part? How do you do that?
So on the left, if you move your mouse over to the left-hand side of your screen, there's a whole bunch of icons that pop up.
Yep.
And
hey, Cinda.
Down at the bottom is one that looks kind of like a little.
Hi. It worked.
Yay. Sorry, we're all new to this, so this is awesome. Go ahead, Mike. Sorry.
Okay, so 1, 2, 4, 6 icons from the top is one that if you hover over Hangout Toolbox.
Yeah.
If you click on the Hangout Toolbox, you'll get a little pop-up on the right-hand side of your screen.
Got it.
So there's some black icons right under Hangout Toolbox, and the left-hand one is a circle with the silhouette of a head in it. And if you click on that, then there's a thing called lower third, and you can put 2 lines of information in lower third. So I've got my name and then my Twitter handle in those 2 lines.
Oh, I see here. No. Okay. Don't see it, but that's okay. I'll deal with that later. Okay, so we got one person on. We had a few audio issues.
I'm here.
Getting started, and I'm new to hosting a Hangout on air, which is different than a regular Google Hangout. So. So, Mike.
No worries. Your picture. I don't know if it's.
Okay, I have a few people as let me reply back. I have I have a long list of emails going, what's going on?
I can't believe I'm on here actually, but I'm excited.
Great. So why don't you and Mike have a little conversation while I'm working on this?
Okay, so Mike, when I came in, you had said something about putting your name on the bottom of your screen, and I kind of caught the tail end of that conversation. Is that something that I could do too, or is that only for the moderator?
Oh no, I'm Catherine's moderating the thing. You can see on my screen that I did it. If you move your mouse to the left-hand side of your Hangout screen, a list of icons pop up.
Yeah.
And the red toolbox, if you click on that, you'll get a list of things on the right-hand side of your screen.
Okay. Yeah, because when I go down, when I move my mouse to the left, I have chat, screen share, showcase, Q&A, capture, control room, Google Effects, is that, or YouTube, and then I have like 3 dots, which opens up to.
Well, the one you're looking at is a Hangout toolbox. You don't have that?
I don't have that. I have a question mark at the very top. I have a recommended app, which is Draw, but I don't have any Google Hangout toolbox.
So click on the three dots.
Okay.
And under Add Apps, see if you can find the Hangout toolbox.
Okay, let's see. So Google Toolbox. I'm going to install that extension. It is spinning. Okay. Would like to. Okay, I'm accepting this. And continue. All right, so Google Toolbox. And then
so if you click on that,
okay,
then you should get a Hangout Toolbox panel on the right-hand side of your screen.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a list of icons across the top, and the left-hand side icon is a silhouette inside a circle.
Yep.
Click on that. That's called lower third.
All right.
So
okay.
Lower third, there's 2 boxes.
Got it.
One.
So in those 2 boxes, you can put whatever you want. What I have is I have my name and then my Twitter handle.
Okay.
And then why is mine backwards?
Well, it's only backwards to you.
Oh.
Like if I look at mine, it's backwards, but you see it. It's like we're on 2 sides of a window. So you're showing me what it looks like, but.
So it looks like it says there's 2 viewers. I'm not sure if that's because people are actually viewing other than joining, or if you're on and you're watching but you don't, if you're not linked in, on the left-hand side you should have some tools on there that one has a Q&A. Click on that and you can type in questions and you could let me know if you're on. So I don't know. I sent where did you get the link that you used to join, Cinda?
It should be in there in everyone's Google Plus.
Well, no, I sent it out in the email for.
Well, you had.
If you go into Google Plus, it should be there.
Okay.
Because I was underneath Google Plus originally, and there was Cameron was on there, and then I responded to her, but I couldn't get anything to work in in Google Plus, but I could be doing it all wrong. So
No, you're on, so that's good.
I'm here.
So
I'm excited.
I'm not really sure. Oh, I'm on. Is there a way for me to be a more active participant? So do I need to invite her? So Cameron is there. She joined. Let me give. Let me get your Gmail, Cameron, again. So Mike,
Hello.
is there a way to allow people in to, do I need to invite her?
Yeah, if you want them to be in the broadcast instead of just viewing it, you need to send them an invite.
That's weird that Cameron was, or that Cinda was able to get in.
So,
Well, have them go to Canvas and look in their Canvas email. You had sent a link, and then click on that link, the latest email that you sent through Canvas.
or you can just click the little invite people icon, Catherine, at the top of your
Yeah,
screen.
that's what I'm doing right now. The problem is I thought I had everybody like connected, and then so I just um, I deleted all the emails, so now I have to go back through my. Okay, where's now? What I know I need to do is I need to add everybody's to uh, I should have just add them to a circle.
If you add them to the circle, that makes everything easier.
I know. See, we're all learning. Oh, really? Come on, man. Okay, okay. Getting some weird. It's all right.
All right.
I'm getting this. Thanks, Mike, for hanging out.
Yeah, no problem. I do have to kind of hang it up at about 7-ish.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
No,
yeah. No.
we'll get people on, and then her. Is the echo on my end?
I
No,
don't
I
hear
could
that.
hear. I could hear. I hear echo.
Echo.
Is it because I have something on that I should?
It's now it's
Now it's
difficult to communicate because of the echo. It wasn't like this before.
before.
So give me just a couple of minutes.
Hey guys.
Give me just a couple of minutes. So can you guys mute your mics on your end? Or your mic, right?
I'm not sure if you're talking to us, but it's difficult to understand because you're very echoey.
Okay. Go to the chat.
I'm not sure if you're talking to us, but it's difficult to understand because you're very echoey.
Okay. So I muted everybody. Now let me unmute Mike. Can you
I'm unmuted.
Okay, good. So the thing is, if everybody has their mics, it's gonna reverberate. Is that better?
Yeah.
No, not for me.
How about if I don't know why it's in. Mike, can you talk about what you guys are doing at Rio and I will start in.
Sure. So, I should probably go back a little bit because what we're doing is sort of the next step in an evolutionary process that I don't think you could just jump into. 6 years ago, 7 years ago, when I came to Rio, we had a goal of creating a one-to-one program for students and teachers. So the goal is that everybody involved in learning would have a mobile device. So we provided laptops to teachers. We've given tablets or netbooks to all of our students. So we're now one-to-one. Everybody has a mobile device. About 2 years before we started providing devices to kids, we started having professional development for teachers. And the first thing we did was we did the old traditional thing where we put everybody in the room and we started talking to them. And that was highly unsuccessful. Then we we did an immensely successful thing, and we started treating our professional development days like little mini Q conferences. So we brought in people from the outside, we found experts from within the district, and we created multiple choices and multiple opportunities through the day for people to go and learn the things that they thought were most applicable to what they were doing in their classrooms and what they wanted to learn. We did that for 2 years, and then last year we went the next level, and our PD day, our first PD day was a mini Q conference, and our next PD day was an ed camp, where we had no agenda at the beginning of the day, and we built the agenda just like an ed camp the morning of the event. Highly successful, teachers loved it, and our anticipation at that point was that we'd kind of just do the same thing again, and that's kind of where we were. Jay Sorensen went to Q and he attended a conference, and I don't remember the name of the district, but there's a district down south that has completely gamified their professional development. And Jay and I started talking about it. I took it to cabinet, and we decided that that's what we're going to do. So we've developed a completely gamified professional development program. And what I mean by gamified is that teachers are now free to work on whatever they think is best for their classroom within 4 categories. And the elements in those 4 categories, and I'll tell you what they are in a second, all support the goals that we have for the district. And our goals are really 4. Goal number 1 is every kid every day will read critically in every class. Goal number 2 is every kid every day will write critically in every class. Goal number 3 is that we will move our pedagogical stance to a completely project-based learning environment. And goal number 4 is that all of our lessons will be inquiry-based. So we're moving away from teacher-centered direct instruction towards a student-centered, project-based, inquiry sort of classroom. Direct instruction still has a place, but it's an intervention strategy. If kids don't get it, and we need to sit them down and kind of go through something to support skill acquisition or something like that, then we'll provide direct instruction, but only as a support strategy, not as a pedagogical approach to the whole class. So there are 5 levels to the program, and within each level there are 4 strands. Strand number 1 is collaboration, strand number 2 is tools, strand number 3 is personal learning network, and strand number 4 is pedagogy. Level 1 is really basic, and there's a lot of tools involved and not a whole lot of pedagogy. Level 5 is extremely advanced, and there's a few tools, but we're assuming that by the time somebody gets to level 5, they've got most of the tools down, and they've also got a learning strategy for getting more when they need them. So we don't have a lot of tools in level 5. We have a lot of pedagogy. And then it just kind of, it ramps up in terms of pedagogy and ramps it down in terms of tools from level 1 to level 5. So to get through level 1, a teacher needs to earn, I think it's 1,500 points. And they have to earn a minimum number of points from each of the 4 strands. So collaboration runs all the way through the thing, and if you work on something with a bunch of teachers on your site, you get some points. If you go off-site and work with teachers, you get points. So anytime teachers get together and they collaborate on stuff that supports those 4 district goals that I was talking about, they get points for that. Tools are things like Google Docs, Edmodo, the various software programs that we use in our district. And for level 1, for example, you get 100 points if you use a Google Doc in your classroom and you have students share and collaborate on that Google Doc. Um, you get points if you have students do a math lesson using Google Spreadsheets or Google Draw. So really kind of straightforward, just basic kind of using our tools. You get points for that at level 1. By the time that same Google Doc thing gets to level 5, what you're doing is extremely sophisticated work using Google Docs or the other Google apps. In the learning network part, level 1, if you open a Twitter account for school, you get points. If you follow a certain number of colleagues in Rio School District, you get some points. If you follow a number of educators outside of Rio School District, you get points. And it just flows like that. And there are other things in the personal learning part. If you go to a conference, if you go to a training, that sort of thing, you get points for that. And then in the pedagogy part, depending on what the level is, the sophistication gets higher and higher. But for level 1, for example, if you have kids collaborate on a project and do a Google slide presentation to share what they learned, you get points. By the time that gets up to level 5, things get a lot more sophisticated and a lot more student-centered and that sort of thing. So that's the basic gist of what we've done. Is there are 5 levels. You have to earn a minimum number of points in each of 4 general areas or strands, and you have to get a given number of points to level out. Now, when you level out, we're setting up some incentives, and we're still kind of working on exactly how that's going to work. Part of it requires us to negotiate with the union, and those conversations are going. But I'll tell you what our goal is. Level 1, basically, if you get to level 1, you'll get either a Rio shirt or a Rio jacket. I'm kind of pulling for a jacket or a windbreaker or a sweatshirt or something like that with the Rio logo on it. And then every time you get a level, you'll get a patch that you can put on your badge. And we'll get those badges embroidered so that people can kind of decorate their Rio jacket or their Rio sweatshirt with the badges that they earned. By the time you get to level 3, we purchased a PC laptop. Some of our teachers have elected to put Linux on it, the same that we use for our students. But at level 3, and it's not, it's a good laptop, but it's not an awesome laptop. What we want to do at level 3 is, if you level out at level 3, then you can get your choice of a MacBook Pro or a high-end Ultrabook PC, a Chromebook, pretty much whatever mobile device you want, as long as it'll do the minimum goals that we have, like work inside of the student information system and run Google Chrome and that kind of stuff. As long as it'll do that, whatever that teacher wants is what we will provide for them.
So Mike,
yes.
Is that kind of like a Letterman's jacket?
I'm sorry?
Kind of like a letter.
You're fading in and out, Catherine. Kind of like what?
A Letterman jacket.
Yeah, maybe. Something like that. Something that everybody would like and use and wear and that kind of stuff. And I don't know. For me, it would be like, if I were the Grand Poobah, what I really like are like Patagonia fleece jackets or something like that we could embroider a logo on and then add patches to with the badges as teachers got them. When you level out at level 5, you get a complete classroom makeover. So you can toss the furniture and put in whatever you want. We'll put in basically whatever technology you want, big screen TVs, lots of little TVs for collaboration. I don't even know what that would look like for somebody that gets to level 5, because they'll have developed processes and pedagogies in their class that, I mean, I can't even think of at this point. So at level 5, you get a complete classroom makeover. So the other part of it, the thing that I'm really excited about, and this is the part that we're still having conversations with the union about, because it's connected to teacher salaries. You know how now, if you get your teaching credential and you take some extra units, it moves you over a column on the salary schedule. If you get a master's degree, it moves you over on the salary schedule. What we're proposing is that if you get level 4, it will move you over on the salary schedule the same as credits after the credential. If you get level 5, it will move you over the same as a master's degree. So what we're proposing is an alternative way for teachers to move across the salary schedule besides going to school, and that is by completing enough of the professional development goals and tools and pedagogical things that the district has been working on. If you do all of that stuff, we kind of think that has the same weight or the same value to the district and our students that getting a master's degree would have.
Can you hear me better? I'm still echoing. So I think it's me.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to shut up. And if Cameron or Cinda have questions, go for it. You just need to unmute your mic.
Mike, I actually. Oh, it sounds. How did you choose the criteria for the levels? How was that developed? Is it per app, or how was that decided?
Basically, we have 2 TOSAs in the district, teachers on special assignment and myself. Conversations between the 3 of us, conversations with some of our tech champions, conversations with some of the leadership, the assistant sup, the superintendent. So we've kind of fleshed out an approach where each of the things that you get points for has a description, and then there's a rubric that defines what you've got to do. And usually it's like you need to submit some evidence, like an example of the Google spreadsheet that your kids worked on or something like that. So there's some performance indicators in a rubric. And again, in conversations with the union, the original thought was that the 2 TOSAs and I would just kind of do that. So when a teacher submitted their work, we'd evaluate it. If it met the descriptor for what it is they were supposed to do, then they'd get the points. If it didn't, then they'd get some feedback about, you know, what they need to do to kind of get it to the level. We want to make sure that the rigor is there, but it's clear enough and everybody sort of understands it so that it doesn't appear to be just arbitrary. Like, we don't like you, so you've got to really do an incredible job, and you know, we do like somebody else, and they just basically say, yeah, I did it, and we give them the points. So we've got a rubric, we've got descriptors of what you need to turn in, and sometimes it's like, you know, like you get 100 points at level 1 for opening a Twitter account. So obviously, if you tell us what the Twitter account is, we go on Twitter, if we can find you, you get the points. I can look at your Twitter account and see who you follow. So if you followed the Rio people, then you get the points. If you followed people outside, you get the points. We're not making any value judgments about who you follow. We just want people to use Twitter as a professional learning network tool. So, you know, those things are real easy. One of the things at level 2 or level 3, I can't remember, is to go a week without sending any worksheets home for kids as homework. So what you'd have to do there is provide evidence of what homework you actually sent the kids home with, and it couldn't include any paper. It's got to be, online stuff or that kind of stuff. So, depending on what the task is, or what it is that you get points for, the evidence is going to vary.
Okay, very cool.
Okay, very cool.
I have a question.
I have a question.
How long has this program been in place?
Oh, this is it. We're just doing it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
It's been in place for 1 or 2 years at the district down south that Jay saw. So we proposed this last spring, and it'll be our PD program starting when teachers come back on August 24th. So we're just getting this thing started.
Okay, so nobody's gotten higher than level 1.
Nobody has any points yet.
Nobody has any points yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Jay Sorensen and I actually have bets about how many people by Christmas are going to get level 1, how many people by the end of the year are going to get to level 2 or level 3. And we've got bets about in the first 2 years, will anybody get to level 5, that kind of thing.
Do you anticipate people not participating?
Yes. Yeah, I mean, how many people have not earned master's degrees or gotten any college credits after their credential? How many people in your district go to whatever professional development you have and they don't participate? And I'm not necessarily making that a negative thing, but we all know that there's some people that are going to jump right in. They're already doing this stuff, so they're sort of the pioneers in any kind of endeavor that a district has. Then there's the group in the middle that once the pioneers kind of show the way and people kind of pick up on it, then they jump in. And there's going to be a small percentage of people in any district that are just not going to do it. So yeah, we fully anticipate that. When we did our ed camps last year for PD, there were people that didn't participate. Our philosophy is we'd prefer to focus on the ones that are moving forward and doing that kind of stuff and not be an impediment to everyone else.
Sure.
If you don't want to participate, that's on you. But we've kind of had conversations about how some other things might pan out. For example, let's say we have available a finite amount of funding to send people to a conference, like, I don't know, Q.
Yeah.
Who ought to go to Q? People at level 3 or people who haven't even finished level 1 yet? To me, those sorts of conversations kind of go hand in hand, right, with the people that are really embracing what the district is doing in terms of goals and direction, and are working as individual learners, to ramp up their skills. There's nothing in level 1 that you can't Google or talk to your neighbor to find out how to do. Level 5, you better have a freaking awesome professional learning network, and you better go some places to take some training, because things are getting hot and heavy. So, the vision is that people, as they go through this process, are going to develop their own adult learning sort of methodology, and they'll embrace it. So if people don't want to play the game, they don't have to play the game. It's not going to be tied to like evaluation or job or anything like that. But my hope is people will play the game, and it'll generate a lot more collaborative work, and a lot more people will be kind of motivated to go out and do some stuff that they otherwise might not have done.
It sounds
It sounds
exciting.
exciting.
Is there a way that
Is there
we
a way
can
that we can
follow what's going
follow what's
on in the
going on
Rio
in the Rio
district?
district?
Yeah, I think so. That's going to be a conversation, but there will be like a scoreboard where we'll post and we'll be tweeting out. Like if you get level 1, you're going out on Twitter. So you could follow hashtag Rio Schools and kind of see how it's going that way. We will probably post who levels out and that kind of stuff. But if a lot of people push back about that, then obviously we won't do it. We've got a back end thing where if you're a teacher, you'll know how many points you have, what your badges are, and that kind of stuff. Alice Keeler has helped us a lot with some scripts to kind of keep score. We've got some scripts where you go to the spreadsheet. It's a Google sheet with everything on it, and there are links to take you to what the descriptors and more detail about what you have to use or turn in and where some resources are and that kind of thing. And then there's a link where you turn in your evidence. Well, that link goes to another sheet where we get the evidence, we look at it, and then we can add the points. When you get the points, you get an email back saying, congratulations, you've earned this many points, you've got this, you're moving this far down, here's what you need to finish level 1. It'll have all the badges on it. So if you've already got the level 1 badge, you've got that on your sheet. So everybody will have their individual feedback. How we post it for the whole district, there's still some conversations about how much we can publish to the outside.
Mike?
Yeah.
So, and Cinda and Cameron, we can probably put some updates on our LEC group because we're this cohort is still working for the rest of the year on various things. So I'll put stuff out.
Yeah.
Whatever you feel like you can share.
If you're going to Fall Q, Jay Sorensen is actually doing a presentation at Fall Q on our PD program.
What about Mama Q?
Jay and I are going to do we're proposing a slightly different thing. We want to share the paddle. We call this paddle, right? Rio means river, so it's kind of the theme in our district. So there are five
paddle.
If you know anything about river rafting, there are 5 classes of rapids. Class 1 is real mellow, and Class 5 is, oh my God, I'm gonna die. So that's kind of the framework of the thing, and the badges are gonna reflect, a meandering, sitting in a rubber boat with your cooler kind of thing, and Class 5 is going to be some guy like going off a waterfall or something. We'll share that. We're going to propose doing that, but we want to track this thing and then kind of create a framework from it. And at Q, the vision is that we'll get a little more detailed about how that integrates into what's going on in the classroom and the other initiatives and the other things that we've got going on.
Well, I'm very interested in your discussion with the union too.
Well, that's going to be critical. I can't for the life of me imagine that the union would have an issue with another way to for people to make a higher salary. It's consistent with the goals of the district and that kind of stuff, but the devil's in the details, and we need to kind of make sure that we've considered everything. So that'll be a really interesting discussion, and I'm really looking forward to it. I hope we can find a way to flesh that out so that it becomes an avenue for teachers to pursue that as opposed to going to like National University and taking a bunch of courses and then they move over on the salary scale. In my mind, it's just kind of the next evolutionary step in professional development. badges and the whole idea of certifications as opposed to degrees in a lot of industries is becoming more and more commonplace. And as a professional sort of thing, if you're demonstrating growth in terms of proficiencies and skill sets that are directly in line with district goals and objectives about learning and teaching, in my mind, you ought to be paid for that. And I think I could argue that if you're doing the things that we've got laid out that actually are what we want you to do in the classroom, that's at least equally valuable to you going to a university and getting a degree that will probably enrich you, but how closely that aligns with the district's goals and objectives could be up for debate.
So Seema joined.
Hi, Seema.
Hi, Seema.
Can you hear us? I can't tell. But Mike, I know that you've gotta bail. It's 7 o'clock. So thank you. And thank you guys for putting up with my very first try at Google Hangouts on air. And I learned all the things not to do. So
That's okay.
I love the fact that I can play with you guys too, because it's helpful for me. You can't really practice alone.
Well, it's interesting because, shameless plug, Andrew Schwab and I do a podcast called Reboot Ed. RebootEdPodcast.com is where you can view all kinds of amazing people we've had the opportunity to talk to. But when Andrew doesn't come on and I have to run the control board, if you watch enough of our videos, you will know which ones Andrew is not part of. It does take a lot to get this thing up and running.
Well, I will work on this. See, I'm trying to. I've been playing with all the tools the whole time, and
yeah, exactly.
So
anyway, if you follow hashtag Rio Schools, every time something happens with this thing, we will definitely tweet it out. So that's one way to do it. If you're going to Fall Q, go to Jay's session and he'll explain it in all its gory details. And I mean, you can, if you follow me on Twitter, you can DM me and.
I've been playing.
Oh yeah, there you go.
How do I get this off?
You gotta go back to your
Google Effects.
Go back to your Google Effects and turn it off. There's a button at the bottom that says Remove Effects or something like that. We had a teacher book club over the summer, and we read Teach Like a Pirate. And our first Google Hangout, I think I put on Bozo the Clown or something like that. Somebody had a pirate. There's a cat in a hat, a Dr. Seuss hat, all kinds of things. We were having a lot of fun with that. Kind of cool. But if you've got questions you want to know down the road what's going on, shoot me an email or send me a DM over Twitter or something, and I'll be happy to keep you up to date with what's going on.
Awesome, thank you.
Really using those. Nice stash, Cameron.
I apologize, you guys, but I'm gonna have to bail.
No, that's fine. Thank you. Maybe what we'll do is do another one of these a few months down the road when you guys have got a little bit more started.
Yeah, no, that'd be
when
great.
When I learn how to use Hangouts on air.
Sure. Okay, take care, everyone.
Bye, Mike.
Bye.
Very nice. Scuba diving. Yay. All right, you guys. So hopefully you got an understanding of kind of how a Google Hangout can work or Google Hangout on air. A lot of times the on air ones, see, now the sound is fine. I think it was Mike.
I hear you perfectly now. It was
Yeah, it was
difficult to have
totally
my
Mike.
own thoughts because I
Dude,
heard myself echo.
I know it's that was really challenging. I
Yeah.
know.
Well,
And
and,
it
and
was because he wasn't using a headset, I think, and so it was reverberating out of his speakers.
oh, maybe, yeah. I was
So
gonna say,
I don't know.
well, because
Anyway,
you mentioned too if you're logged on to two things. So if he potentially had it on two windows or something, because that's what I was worried about with myself. But I don't know.
yeah. Well, obviously everything's great now, and so this is still broadcasting, so I'm going to say, Mike, it's all your fault, but thank you
He did
anyway.
say about the podcast, so we would know he was on.
Yeah.
So.
So, so, so hopefully you guys see kind of how Google Hangouts can, work as one method for connecting. There's lots of different options. The difference between a Hangout and a Hangout on Air as far as I know, is the Hangout on Air lets you, broadcast so that people can view it live without necessarily being participants. So you guys joined as participants, but you can just watch. And then on the left-hand side where the chat window and stuff is, there should also, if you're watching passively, there should be a Q&A button. And so as a moderator or someone holding this, I can do I can check the Q&A. So, and you can answer questions and stuff. So the chat only works on that side for the people who are actually in the session, and then the Q&A would work for someone who is just watching it being broadcast live
Okay.
or later. So that's kind of
And
how that works.
I was gonna ask, are the on airs, are those the ones that you can also have recorded? So, for instance, if you have the students like write questions and stuff, but then the speaker only has time to talk with one of your classes, you can record that conversation and have them
Abs-
watch it.
Absolutely. Right now I'm broadcasting, and when I stop, it will archive this and it puts it on my YouTube channel, and also it's in my Google Plus. And so, yeah, this is recorded, and so anybody else could come and watch it later.
Okay. Very cool.
Yeah. So it's fun to
It
play.
is fun. It's
Yeah.
very fun. I'm definitely going to try it.
Cool. Good. So, since I have you as a two captive audience, how are things going for you guys with the course and getting school started and all that good stuff? Any questions?
Well, I'm a little behind, but
Everybody, I am too. So that's like a non-starter, and we're all behind. So don't
I
worry.
yeah.
Don't worry
But
about that.
I've
Remember that fluid dates, fluid.
yeah. So I've learned a tremendous amount by taking this
Good.
online course, and it's really amazing. Every little thing has broadened my thinking about technology in the classroom and adding it not only on a superficial level, but really kind of changing how I do things. And
Good.
so as begin the new year, this is actually kind of right in the forefront because I've been thinking about it all summer long. And so I paused a little bit to get the school year started, but now that I'm moving forward, those lesson plans that we need to do, I'm thinking, okay, this is what I got to incorporate, and I've had some ideas, and so yeah, I think it's been a tremendous thing. Still moving forward with it, but just a little bit behind. Not forgetting it at all. So, but really, I'm glad that I've taken this course because it really everything from the Vokies to the Powtoons to embedding videos on discussion threads, everything has been a learning experience for me. Changes so rapidly. Where 5 years ago I really felt that I was, you know, competent in technology. Now I find myself, I'm like, wow, now I don't feel as competent anymore. So yeah, it's been a good thing, but still a process and
Yeah.
moving forward.
Well, you are competent, so don't worry about that. All the work that you guys have done has been in this course has been phenomenal. And I know this is going out on air, and I love all my cohorts, but this has been an amazing cohort of people with some really, really creative and innovative ways of thinking about technology. And so it's been a blast for me as well. So thank you.
Hmm.
Great. Well, thank you.
How about you, Cameron?
This has been really good. I have a couple other people at our site. I think there was 4 of us in this cohort, and
Mm-hmm.
I mean, as you can see, they all made it here today. But
That's all right. There was other options besides this, so.
okay, well, I think something that's very interesting for me is that fact, kind of like what was just mentioned. I mean, we're hitting right at the beginning of the school year. Today was day 3 for us, so we've had students since last week, and so it is really cool to have all these tools. And as I'm looking at my lessons from last year and trying to improve them and making sure students are really hitting those main themes, what ways can they do that expression part? What ways can they create and hit those higher levels? And so that's been a blast, just having all the tools available. Because
Good.
even though I haven't turned a lot of them in, I have been checking out all the tools. But the other thing that's really neat is, for me, myself and the other history teacher are piloting technology. So it's really neat to talk to someone like Mike, who's in year, what has he said, like this was 6 years ago they started. So someone who was 6 years ago, where they're at now, and what things we can be incorporating and bringing in, because right now there's only 2 of us on campus that have technology. Students don't have devices yet, so we're really on this very cool experimental time with it. And so I'm very looking forward to really trying out a lot of these tools, seeing what sticks, seeing what we can do with students bringing their own devices, or what's going to be possible. So I'm very excited for it. This has been great.
Awesome.
And you know what? Fillmore rocks.
Fillmore rocks.
That's right, because we're the junior high. I'm at the high school, so we
That's
got
right.
the 2
Wait,
Fillmore people
you're
representing.
Yeah, Fillmore. You guys are rocking it.
I know the North County is the only part here.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, and you guys are the ones that started the earliest. So, well, just about. Oak Park started before you, but not much sooner. You guys are like right there.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we're pretty early.
Yeah, it feels early.
And you had to pick the heat wave week to start, didn't you?
At least we have air conditioning, so
That's true.
that's yeah.
Right. We don't have devices, but we have air conditioning, so that's a good trade.
Sure.
All right, you guys. Well, and please do not stress about the assignments. I'm not looking at them going, oh, where are they? Believe me, I am not doing that. It's fluid, and I only put in those dates to kind of give you those nudges. You know what it's like being on the other end, So you guys are doing fabulous. Anytime you need anything from me, you just let me know. And I'm going to have open labs on Saturdays throughout the school year. So you can always just come in, drop in if you needed, focus work or you need some help or anything like that. And the course itself is open for a year, so you've got all those resources to access as long as you want. So, okay?
Awesome. Thank you.
Great. All right.
All right.
Well, thank you, Kathy. Really
Thank you,
appreciate
guys.
it.
All right. Talk to you soon.
All right.
Okay.
Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.